So April, Keith, generally there's a lot to do in the garden. We'll start, seeing as we're positioned here by the turf, talking about a bit about lawn care.
Yeah, you're beginning to sound like me, Matt. Well, there is a lot to do, yeah. And most people will start thinking a bit more about their lawns at this time of the year. You know, they've looked at them through the winter and thought, I don't need to do anything, and that's quite right. But in April, you really need to start getting it, looking as good as it can do. You've got the complete 4-in-1 there. It's a feed, it's a weed killer, it's a moss killer. It greens it up quickly. It's an ideal thing to put on. You can do it by hand. Use a machine. It's not difficult. And really, April is the time, and it will make a big difference to your lawn. Well, people said they had a particular moss problem this year. I mean, you were talking about your lawn moss.
Yes, yeah.
And we've got this new product that we've seen, Mobacter. It's actually bacteria that eat, that digest the moss. So they don't kill it like a lot of the other moss treatments. They actually get rid of it in a perfectly natural way, and it goes back into the soil as a nutrient. So it's a good thing to think about, particularly people who are organic gardens, want to use more natural methods. So this is a new thing to us, and we're interested to see how people get on with it this year. But I think it's worth trying, certainly.
One of the good things they promoted it with this product is the scarifying. You don't have to do that anymore, right, because it all goes back into the garden. Yeah. You don't have to spend hours scarifying that lawn, which is
said last month about using lawn sand. If you do that, your lawn goes black because all the moss dies, and then you have to rake it off because it looks awful. That you don't need to do that anymore with this. So we're very interested to see how this goes in the next year or so. It's also a good time, of course, for repairing lawns, either by laying turf. The second lot of turf really is this year. So turf, if you want a quick fix, it's a bit more expensive, but £3.99 is a square metre. It's not out of the question to do it. Or you can sow. Grass seed will germinate in April quite quickly. There's moisture and there's enough heat, so you can repair little patches, or you can sow whole lawns. It's a cheaper way to cover a big area. Quite a bit of preparation involved, but it's worth it. You get a lawn that's going to last you years.
And obviously people now with established lawns are giving it that cut as well. Just a gentle cut really at this time of the year.
Nothing's gentle. It's always quite hard the first cut. So we always do it quite high. So it just takes a bit of it makes it a bit easier for you. And then over the next few weeks, just lower the cut a little bit. And you've really got to cut the lawn once a fortnight. Once a week if you want a slightly better lawn, and twice a week if you want a bowling green. Depends on what kind of lawn you want. But yes, cutting the lawn is important.
And moving away now from the lawn, I know there's another product that you wanted to mention, and it's to do with slugs. I know with people getting into the veg gardens now, people even with other plants in the gardens, they'll pretty much get most things. Yeah. So there was a product that you wanted to.
I mean, you've got to be vigilant at this time of year. It's warm, the nights are warming up, and it's moist, and that's what slugs love. There are lots of different things. We've definitely got away now from those horrible blue pellets that were metaldehyde. It's a nasty chemical, and birds were at risk, and hedgehogs and so on. So we've got away from that. There are chemicals to use that are based on iron, and they will kill slugs and snails. But there are other things like this. This is a wool product, wool pellets. It looks a bit like a fertiliser that's scattered around, and they expand when they're moist, and slugs and snails don't like to cross it. So it's a physical barrier. It won't kill them, and they're still available to as goodies for the thrushes and the blackbirds. And it does break down into the soil, and it provides nutrients, holds the moisture in because it acts like a mulch. It's worthwhile trying it. Again, particularly if you're keen not to be using chemicals and want to go down the organic route.
Brilliant. Well, that's great. Well, thanks very much, Keith.